Vivian Vance's last interview felt less like a conversation and more like a gentle, heartbreaking curtain call. Born Vivian Roberta Jones on the 26th of July, 1909, in the quiet farm town of Cherryvale, Kansas. She grew up in a home where faith, rules, and the steady rhythm of small-town life shaped every day. One of 6 children, she learned early how to carve out space for her own voice in a house filled with chores, sibling chatter, and the constant pressure to behave. When the family moved to Independence, Kansas, she found something that changed everything: high school drama classes. On stage, she felt alive in a way nothing else had ever allowed. But her mother considered acting improper and fought fiercely against her growing passion. Vivian resisted in her own quiet way, sneaking out for rehearsals and choosing the stage name Vance as a symbol that she was building a life on her own terms. That determination eventually carried her to Albuquerque, where she earned her first real break at the Albuquerque Little Theater in 1930. The local community believed in her so strongly that they raised money to send her to New York to train under Eva Le Gallienne. With that support behind her, she headed into the world she had always dreamed of: Broadway. There she began in the chorus before climbing steadily into substantial roles, winning praise for her warmth and impeccable comedic instincts. By the early 1940s, she was starring in Cole Porter's Let's Face It, proving she had the talent and the grit to hold her own. Hollywood eventually drew her west, and she appeared in films like The Secret Fury and The Blue Veil. But it was her performance in The Voice of the Turtle that changed her life forever. Desi Arnaz and producer Jess Oppenheimer saw her on stage and knew instantly she was the perfect partner for Lucille Ball, on a show no one yet realized would become iconic, I Love Lucy. Though younger and more glamorous than the role of Ethel Mertz was written, Vivian transformed herself into the perfect comic anchor beside Lucy. When the show debuted in 1951, America fell in love with the duo's chemistry. For years, she returned to variations of the character in the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, The Lucy Show, and Here's Lucy, all while battling the frustration of being constantly addressed as Ethel instead of Vivian. Her personal life, too, was filled with its own chapters. 4 marriages that spanned everything from youthful hope to turbulent heartbreak, and finally, peace with her 4th husband, John Dodds, who stayed faithfully beside her when cancer struck. By the time she sat down for her final interview, she was weaker, recovering from a stroke, but her voice held a clarity that quieted the entire room. She spoke of Kansas winters, Broadway lights, the weight of being typecast, and her deep bond with Lucille Ball. "Lucy saved my life more than once," she murmured, bringing the crew to tears. She admitted she never expected the world to remember her at all, a confession that stunned everyone present. She wanted, more than anything, for people to know that behind the laughter was a woman who had simply tried to live honestly and with heart. When she passed away on the 17th of August 1979, after years of failing health, that final interview remained her last. Luminous gift, a reminder that the woman the world knew as Ethel Mertz was, in truth, far more complex, brave, and unforgettable.